Creepy Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe has been in the headlines.
Without
you know what?
further ado,
Let's just get this party started.
Creepy Uncle Joe.
Oh, poor Uncle Joe.
Hillary wants to let go so bad. She's tapping him, giving him the tap. Please let go.
The tap out.
Please let go.
Yes, I love you.
I won't let go, Hillary.
Never let go.
Ooh. Are you wearing underwear? Ooh, kiss her right on the back.
What's up, baby girl? I feel bad, honestly, for Joe.
I do too. Really quick. The dude could just be a nice guy.
Well,
born into an affectionate
we're gonna
family.
get there.
Okay, sorry. Creepy Uncle Joe. I'm over here like, dude, he's probably a stand-up citizen, probably pays his taxes.
Well, I don't know about all that stuff, but I don't think he's a pervert.
Creepy Uncle Joe. Ooh, even the oldies. They're still goodies. She's going to watch it. Oh, I've seen this one where the girl leans away.
This one does look kind of awkward.
I wonder what he's saying.
Okay, so let's talk about this. So Joe Biden's been in the headlines because he's considering running for president. And I think before we even start, I think it's really interesting that Joe Biden is, like 76 years old, and he has never been accused of anything until like a week ago when he decided to run for president. So it seems like I heard someone
tell
say,
us what it seems like, Andy.
Well, I heard someone say the other day, and I think this is really interesting, that people, whenever the left talks about...
I thought you were going to say people who are over 70 just are more perverted than people that are under 70.
Well, naturally. You lose your inhibitions. You start getting touchy and handsy. No, when people... when the left starts talking about victimhood, and they start talking about sex and race and religion and gender and all this stuff... It's a cue to people who are paying attention that it's a power grab, because they only talk about that stuff when they want something. So when people on the left start accusing Joe Biden of all these things, it makes you wonder, there's probably someone that doesn't want him running for president, or it's some kind of like opposition.
Well, you've heard the idea.
Calculated. It's very calculated.
You've heard the idea that President Obama was more of a launch pad for their policy than he was a destination.
True.
President Obama was kind of like the pivot for the left.
He's a moderate now, looking back.
Which is crazy. And, of course, who was running with Obama? Biden. So now that Biden's running, they're like, a lot of the left and like the extreme left, they're like, we've been down this road. We already used you and squeezed you for all your good. Right. Think about this. Obama was a stick of toothpaste, and they squeezed all the toothpaste out, and now it's just that like little bits that you can barely get. That's Biden right now. They're like, we already got everything we need. We're going to go farther. We want the AOCs. We want the Betos. And so
it's true.
And so really, they're like, well, how can we bring this guy down without being obvious? Oh, he's a pervert.
And the radical left has embraced so much of the intersectionality stuff that I don't think they're crazy about the old white guys.
No. It looks really bad on them.
And it's why they don't they took the 2016 election away from Bernie with the DNC colluding with Hillary and stuff.
Yes, exactly.
They don't want the old white man. They want the intersectionality, because that's what they think is going to sell. So let's just talk a little bit about the... do you have the Vox article pulled up?
Yeah, boy. I got it right here.
You got it right here. Yeah. So I just want to read a little bit of... So Lucy Flores is the first woman who's come forward and accused Joe Biden of making her... I mean, what's weird is, like, these aren't even sexual assault allegations. It's just... I'm accusing him of, I don't know, just making me feel uncomfortable. Okay, I guess we can go that route. So
let's hit this.
Yeah. Wait, where are you starting? I wanted to just read her account. Scroll down a little bit.
Sure.
What do we got here? Keep going. Flores recounts the Biden's campaign. Down a little further. There you go. So she says, I found my way to the holding room for the speakers, where everyone was chatting, taking photos, and getting ready to speak to the hundreds of voters in the audience. Just before the speeches, we were ushered to the side of the stage where we were lined up by order of introduction. As I was taking deep breaths and preparing myself to make my case to the crowd, I felt two hands on my shoulders. I froze. Why is the Vice President of the United States touching me? I felt him get closer to me from behind. He leaned further in and inhaled my hair. I was mortified. I thought to myself, I didn't wash my hair today. It's a funny detail, too. And the vice president of the United States is smelling it? And also, what in the actual bleep? Why is the vice president of the United States smelling my hair? He proceeded to plant a big, slow kiss on the back of my head. My brain couldn't process what was happening. I was embarrassed. I was shocked. I was confused.
Do you think he has like a hair fetish?
Is that all of it? What else does she say here?
Oh, yeah. You just got to two-finger that boy.
I couldn't move and I couldn't say anything. I wanted nothing more than for Biden to get away from me. My name was called, and I was never happier to get on stage in front of an audience. So that's her account of her experience with Joe Biden. So,
okay,
is this a sexual assault? Is this illegal behavior? Did she tell anyone up until 5 seconds ago? No.
I don't think smelling somebody's head is a sexual assault. I do think it's creepy behavior. I mean, you have to consider like
it's weird. But I mean, it's not normal.
But it's not going to delegitimize his running for president.
Right.
They're going to have to come up with something much bigger than this. But I'm sure they have something. If they're going to start with this, I'm sure there's more stuff downstream that they're just trickling this thing along. Like they cast the bait out, and now they're going to reel it in. And I think over the next couple of days, we're going to find out more and more and more as more women come forward with probably more intense stories. That's normally how they do this stuff.
Do you have the link pulled up of her being interviewed? Can you pull that up real quick? No. It's a YouTube link.
Is it in our notes?
Yeah. Did you forget to pull that up, dog?
I got all the notes right here. Which one is it?
That one right there. Click that one and then start at about a minute.
Boom.
This is Lucy talking on MSNBC about the
you have made the distinction between
allegation,
sexual harassment, which you say this
started like a minute.
All right, here we go.
It was unwanted. It was shocking because of the power difference. Context is also important here. I'm in no way suggesting, and I think this is again a conversation that's necessary because it's not about just hugging someone or like, oh gosh, now I can't touch anybody, or oh, she touched him on his shoulder. Did she violate him? That's silly. This is about
But isn't that what you're saying?
Context and understanding that there's a very, very powerful man.
Did he look at this woman and go,
power.
Man, I want her?
It's always power with the left. It's like, it's okay to feel somebody up as long as you're not in power. If you're in power, it's very problematic. Like, this whole thing doesn't make sense. It's either right or wrong, or it's either legal or illegal. And this whole thing of, like, the context, I don't know what the purpose here is other than it's someone trying to take down Biden, right? That's got to be what it is.
It's got to be what it is.
This happened 5 years ago.
Like, yeah, why was this brought up now? Why is it only brought up when
he was the vice president of the United States for 2.5 years after this? Like, why?
But at the time, the left had what they wanted, which was Obama. Now,
exactly,
because Obama can't run again, and because they consider that a stepping stone, that he is no longer considered progressive.
Right.
The new progressive, which is always the field goals are always changing on that because they're getting more and more regressive, but they're getting more and more progressive. So clearly, it's like the perfect time to use all this stuff. And it's funny.
Right.
Trump was recently speaking, and he goes, "Biden, what's it like? What's it like to be?" I think he said like, "What's life like?" Because now he's finally feeling Biden. Because Biden's one of the people that says, believe women. He's a big proponent of believe all women.
Yeah, totally.
And so
his Twitter feed today, responding to
I haven't seen
all
this
of
yet.
These.
Here we go.
I expect to be talking to you about a whole lot of issues, and I'll always be direct with you. But today
quiet.
I want to talk about gestures of support and encouragement that I've made to
there we go.
women and some men, and have made them uncomfortable. And I always tried to be, in my career, I've always tried to make a human connection. That's my responsibility, I think. I shake hands, I hug people, I grab men and women by the shoulders and say, you can do this. And whether they're women, men, young, old,
Joe,
it's the way
we're going to give you some music.
It's the way I've tried to show I care about them and I'm listening. And over the years, knowing what I've been through, the things that I've faced, I've found that scores, if not hundreds of people have come up to me and reached out for solace and comfort, something, anything that may help them get through the tragedy they're going through. And
even though he's doing the double Bill Clinton thumb,
yeah,
I actually love what he's saying because
I don't think he's wrong, to be honest.
I've been in those shoes before where like you feel down, and somebody you respect comes over and grabs you by the shoulder and just goes,
yeah,
hey, it's going to be all right. There's that human interaction element that's missing in a lot of our today's society, especially. We're all tweeting at each other. There's no physicality. And did he make some girls feel uncomfortable? 100%, because you could even tell in the video, you're like, oh, Uncle Joe, you're holding on too long. But I think his heart maybe was in the right place.
Haven't you met people like that in your life, though, personally?
Heck
like,
yeah.
Like, there's people that I've known throughout my life where, like, they're not good with knowing, like, boundaries and space and stuff. Like, they'll come up and grab you by the shoulder and, like, get in your face, and, like, you can feel their breath, and you're just like, dude, you're too close to me. There's 100%. People like that, and they're not. It's nothing sexual. It's nothing about power dynamics or perversion.
And to kind of wrap this all up,
some people just don't have good social cues when it comes to physical boundaries. That's just kind of how some people are. And there's women like that, too. I've met women like that get too close, and I'm like, dude, you're just too close to me.
No, you're right. But to wrap it all up, what I really think this really speaks more to isn't Joe Biden. Is Joe Biden a creepy old guy? Sure. It speaks to the fact that the left is willing to eat their own at any moment.
Yes.
They are the praying mantis.
That's very true.
They're willing to eat their mate. They're willing to chew you up and spit you out the second they don't need you. And guess what? Joe Biden,
he's no longer needed.
To close this off, they don't need you anymore.
He's no longer needed.
Sorry, bud.
All right.
That's just how it goes.
Sorry, Joe.
Woo! See you guys.
Whoops.